Morning students, welcome to offline classes for 9th standard. So as we are discussing the chapter called is matter around us pure. In previous part 4 we have discussed some of the important methods which are help us to separate the components from the mixtures. We have discussed some different methods, and today's class will continue the same part, and apart from those methods, which are other methods are there to separate the components from the mixer. So next is what? Chromatography. So this is one method is used to separate what? Colored components from the mixture. So this method is used for separating colored components from a liquid by using a filter paper or blotting paper. So by using filter paper or blotting paper, using those things, we can separate the colored components from the liquid. So how can we do it? So by seeing a small activity here. So take on small the filter paper or blotting paper, put a drop of ink near one end of the strip of a filter paper. Okay, so here is a paper. In one end we should put water, the color ink. Then, and after that what we are doing, dip the end of the paper in test tube containing water. Then after keeping a colored dot on one end of the paper, so what we have to do, we need to keep that into the beaker containing water. Then what happens? So ink is a mixture of two or more colored components. The component which is more soluble in water rises faster and get separated. So you just see here, when this is a dot of ink dot. So this ink it is not a single component, it is a mixture of some different components. So when you dip into the paper into the beaker containing water, what happens here? The colored components which are present in the ink, which is more soluble in water, they will rise up, and which is less soluble in water rises slowly. By this way, what happens? The color gets separated. So you just see here how the color gets separated. So this is what. So here, from one single the component, we can separate different kind of colors. So here is the red, the blue, somewhere light green color, and yellow. So by this way, we can able to separate the colored components from the liquid. So this is the method called chromatography. So next method is about water, the distillation. This method is used for separating a mixture of miscible liquids by boiling the mixture and cooling and condensing the vapors. So we have discussed how we need to separate the immiscible liquids. So that we have discussed in previous part 4. In this we are discussing, we are going to use here to separate what? Miscible liquids. How can we separate here? First we need to boil, then after we need to cool, then we need to condense the vapor. So by this kind of method, what we call distillation. How can we do it? So here we'll see here, this is the apparatus what we need to separate the miscible liquids. So how we can do it? First, the simple distillation is used for separating a mixture of the two miscible liquids having sufficient difference in their boiling points. So here we need to separate the miscible liquids and those having different boiling points. So if a mixture of acetone and water is heated in distillation apparatus, the acetone which has a lower boiling point than the water, the first boils and cools and condenses, and it is separated from the water. So here it is the apparatus. So here this is the substance mixture of water, acetone and the water. So when you boil this, the substance which is kept here, like mixture of acetone and water, what happens here? So the acetone is lower boiling point. So what happens here? It is very fast it boils, and it is slowly it cools here. Here in this bottom is a very hot condition, and after boiling it rises and it cools down, and what happens here, after cooling it condenses and it transfer into another substance called another way. So it will pass through this condensing tube, and finally it enters in another. We can collect the the acetone, in another the test tube. So this is a way what we can able to separate the two miscible liquids according to their boiling points. So next we will go to another important method here, the fractional distillation. This method is used for separating of water two or more miscible liquids whose difference in boiling points is less than 25 K. So this is also one more method, the same as like for distillation, but it is one more is fractional distillation. Here the whose two liquids. So same method we are using, that is what to separating of water two miscible liquids whose difference is what boiling point and is less than 25 kelvins. So here is this is the apparatus what we used to separate water to miscible liquids. How can we do it? The apparatus used for fractional distillation is similar to that used for the simple distillation, except the fractionating column is fitted between the distillation flask and condenser. The fractionating column has glass beads which increases the surface for the vapor to cool and condense. So fractional distillation is used for separating components of petroleum, separating the different gases from air. So here is the apparatus. So here, so only the apparatus what we used for distillation, the same kind of apparatus again we are using. Only small difference what we are using here. Only thing is we will fit one fractionating column. This is what fractionating column what we are using. It is fitted between water distillation flask. So this is what distillation flask. There is a one, the fractionating column has been fixed, and the condenser. This is what the condenser has been fixed. So these are the only difference from distillation and the fractionation apparatus. So here what we see. So here we will eat the mixture and it rises up, and which is having lower boiling point. They will boil so faster and rises up and cools down in the condenser, and finally we can collect in another container. So this is what the fractional distillation. This method is usually they will apply during separating of components from the petroleum. So petroleum, there are different components are there like petrol, diesel, kerosene, so and even natural gas. These are all what the petroleum. So petroleum is a raw material for these other fuels like diesel, petrol, kerosene. So how they get separate? How from petroleum, how the kerosene is getting separate, how petrol is getting separate, how diesel is getting separate? It is by the method called the fractional distillation. The fractional distillation is used for separating the water these different fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, and lubricant oils and all. So this is the method is used for separating of water those components. Usually they will apply during separating of water petroleum. The next is about the separation of components of air. So here, how can we separate the components in air? So as of now, we have discussed water which is present in liquid. But now we are going to discuss in water how can we separate the mixtures? How can we separate the components which are mixed in air? Air is a mixture of gases. The components of air can be separated by fractional distillation again. So air is not only one component. It is a mixture of several number of gases. So carbon dioxide is there, oxygen is there, sulfur dioxide is there, and nitrogen dioxide is there. So there are a number of gases are combined in air, and the components of air can be separated again by the using of fractional distillation. How can we do it? Air is compressed by increasing the pressure and cooled by decreasing the temperature to get a liquid air. The liquid air is then allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column. Then the different components are separated at different heights depending on their different boiling points. So same way what we discussed in previous topic called fractional distillation. Here also what we do, here air is compressed by increasing pressure. So air can be compressed. So here we have discussed three states of matter. One is solids, liquids and gases. But among three, the air is highly compressible. Gas is highly compressible. So due to this, so we can compress this air with very high pressure. What happens here? Due to high compression, and it is cooled by decreasing the temperature to get the liquid air. So what happens when you compress the air with a high temperature with with high pressure with low temperature, what happens? The air is going to convert into what? Liquid. So then what happens? The liquid air is then volatile to warm. So when it converted, when the air is converted into water, liquid, so that after that what we have to do? We need to allow them to warm. Then what happened? So after this, slowly in fractional distillation column, where we need to allow them to warm in a fractional distillation column. Then the different components are separated different heights depending on their different boiling points. So this is a method is used for what? Separating the components in A. So how can we do it? This is a step by step. A, it is compressed and cooled by decreasing the pressure and decreasing water temperature. We have already discussed this in previous chapter. That is like in first chapter we have discussed. Then what happens when you increase the pressure and when you decrease the temperature? What happens? Air is going to convert into what? Liquid air. Allowed then liquid air, then it is allowed for water warm and slowly in fractional distillation column. Then what happens here? The gases get separated at different heights, like boiling points 0 degrees Celsius, oxygen is 183, argon 186, nitrogen is 196. So here oxygen is having its own boiling point, argon is having own boiling point, nitrogen. So at different boiling points we can able to separate these gases from the air. So this is about water. How can we separate the components from the air? Okay. In the next class we will discuss remaining topics from the chapter.